I have been living in Seletar Airbase for almost 25 years, and I'm loving every moment of it. When I first moved in here, it was a Singapore military base. So we have a guard house. The guard house is very original. We call it a pre-war building, except that the windows have been changed to glass.
In early years, it was also a prison. The central courtyard, which is now a school, was where the prisoners were allowed to walk around. I've seen the cells. They were pretty mean, pretty small, and it felt, sorry to say, extremely haunted. Block 179 was the old headquarters for Seletar Air Force Base. The interior of the office was just like something out of the 1940s. There was an old safe there that presumably they used back then. It was built in 31. It's a really old office and it was just really antique. This block would be for the troops mostly, and they had some great stories because there's another block opposite which has been demolished. So the lady officers, they slept there and the men slept next door. So they used to steal the ladies' underwear. This is the swimming pool. It was the central focus of attention. This is somewhere close to the HQ. I went there a few years ago with some of the RAF and they cried. And they took pieces of the mosaic, around the pool that was loose, whole hunks of it, just as souvenirs. So they were really upset that this place had not been kept up. It's gone. The street names are hilarious, in fact, because they're all names from central London, which is a highly built-up area. So it's completely different from, if you have a look at Hyde Park Gate in London and Piccadilly in London, it's totally different. It's a colonial architecture which used the best of traditional local architecture, the Malay architecture. They all have enormous gardens. The British love their gardens, especially the English.
Houses in different roads have different configurations. It's for the sergeant or for the more senior officials. Park Lane was very grand. It was for the camp commander. It's a residence. So that area was considered very exclusive. During the World War II, the Japanese took over. Park Lane was their R&R area, comfort houses for the Japanese soldiers. Let me show you an example of a very rustic black and white unit, one of the remaining black and white houses which has kept its original condition. The occupants of this house has even put in furniture that belongs to that period of time. And this is one of the most beautiful black and white houses still available in Seletar Airbase. Everything is as is, a pre-war house should look like. We have changed a lot since then, There's a lot of renovation and changes. Seletar Airbase started as an Air Force military base for the British. Subsequently, the Japanese took over.
First pictures of Singapore's taste of aerial war reveal the damage done to Raffles Square in the heart of the island shopping
After the war, the British took it back. And after that, when the British left, it was handed back to the Singapore Air Force. The rest of the areas are meant for civilians. The huge building, which is now Chatsworth Kindergarten, that was the camp commander's office. It's that unique because where else can you live in a military base? We were very free to move around, and you can even cycle to the runway, right into the hangar. We go flying and then you just walk to the tarmac, cycle and put your bicycle on the side of the flying club, and then you walk to the plane and then that's off you go. The security was very good, so nobody locks the windows. Maybe sometimes some people lock the doors. And I think most of the time we felt a very great sense of security because we know each other well. We had a lot of foreigners from all over the place living here. It's very enriching culturally because they are very open about their lifestyle, so we learn from them. All the gatherings we have, going over to your neighbor's house without even having to knock on the gate because we never had gates and fences those days. This is how friendly we are and very closely. We find every excuse to go over, have tea. Sunday is always a very exciting Sunday. The kids have a very wonderful time here because we seem to know everybody around here.
When I was very young, this place was quite big before all these constructions started. It was like a place for adventure for me. I didn't need to leave this area to have a fun time. If I got bored of my house area, I can just cycle around to find my friends. And it was very fun for me because like I get to do sports, cycle around, we played badminton, fly kite. So it's like one big family. Look closely, there's a lot of fish inside. Last time, like, there were several streams like this. We usually find the easiest one to enter. Like, we wouldn't really go inside the water because we would chase all the fish away and it would become muddy. So we always tried to, like, one person here, one person standing over there, so we, like, corral all the fish. It was fun. That's what I did when I was young. Cycle around, play football, go longkang fishing.
Living in Seletar Airbase, especially during the earlier years, is like living very close to Mother Nature. The air that you breathe, the plants, the whole environment is very green. It's a gardener's haven. If you love gardening, if you love plants, if you love nature, it's the best place to live in. I have always been very active in doing gardening projects, and with the school Chatsworth Kindergarten coming into the airbase, I'm also involved in teaching gardening to the children, and it's a very good place to educate our children to appreciate nature, to be very green. We had a lot of old trees that's been here for like over 70 to 80 years. All sorts, I can name you, nutmeg tree, cinnamon tree, durian, avocado. It's like an orchard, and that attracted a lot of bird life and butterflies. And even lately we have sightings of wild boars. You can have a cobra right in your garden. You can have wild boars coming through your garden and eating up your plants. This is my old house, number 9 Sussex Garden. See all the trees that I grew? These are all my fruit trees. Our rambutan tree is dead. It's very different from what it was when I first moved here. It's a big change from what it used to be. And this is how Seletar has changed from the time I've moved in more than 25 years ago. We have to accept the changes. It's very different now, and not like the kampong days that we used to have. Since the construction, we had a lot of movements and changes. So, and a lot of the people who are so used to that quiet has left. Before they were demolishing the houses here, we wish we could put it in a can or in a bottle or a bubble, that we can keep it, that people all over the world, especially Singaporeans and the next generation, preserve this place so that everybody can get to enjoy it.
All my friends, all gone. And they do come back and see, they say everything's changed. From our memories, now it's totally different. We are like the last ones, like still staying around since the beginning. Yeah, now it's totally changed. Like after they had this aerospace, yeah, everything changed.
We don't have the greenery, the wildlife, the space is already very reduced. It's not Seletar Airbase anymore. I wish that it was left as it is and always be like the good old Seletar.